The terrorists are under arrest. They all worked for a computer company called Infocom in the Dallas suburb of Richardson. International terrorism expert Michael Fjetland joins us from the newsroom. Does this open up a whole new chapter in the war on terrorism, Michael?
Yes, it does, Fran, because this is the first time the U.S. is going to be targeting Hamas, which has never previously attacked U.S. interests. Apparently the thinking is that they are going to attack all financial sources of income for any terrorist group, whether it's attacked the U.S. in the past or not.
But by that you mean the Federal Terrorism Task Force. Now, why would Hamas be operating in the U.S.?
The Hamas has never operated in the United States, but it does receive funding from U.S. sources. And I believe the thinking behind this is that if you're during the last year, they've had very little success in cutting off the financial funds for Al Qaida, that the only way they're going to cut those funds is to cut Hamas and any other group's funding as well. So that's what's going on today.
And of course, they've been going after the Holy Land Foundation and raided that Infocom computer company last year. Is Hamas linking up with Al Qaida?
That's still a great dispute whether or not they are. They do, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, may be the only way that they actually do link up. There has been some discussion of whether Al Qaida is trying to get into Israel, which is where Hamas operates, but it may end up being that they become allies simply out of necessity as the United States program with Iraq, etc., continues.
There was a mention of, in Sue Speck's story, about a bookstore called Omar's here in the Houston area. We have been very lucky, more or less. We haven't had a tremendous number of arrests or anything. What is your take on Houston and the connection with Dallas?
We have a lot of interests here that are international, but to date there hasn't been a great deal of connection between people here and terrorism. But keep in mind, we're in a fairly unusual situation. We're actually buying Iraqi crude oil, which in a way means that whenever you buy a tank of gas, if it's made with this crude oil, you're funding Saddam. If you're funding Saddam, you're potentially funding terrorism. So it's going to be very interesting where all this comes down, because the net is getting very broad, and the source of funding will raise these issues as we go along.
Okay, Michael Fjetland, terrorist expert, thank you for joining us this afternoon.